Hello everyone, Mr. Happy here, and welcome back to another Final Fantasy XIV Let's Play series. Just like the last 4 parts, I believe, at this point. I am recording this live on Twitch. As such, I have turned off sub notifications, file notifications, so that you won't have the gameplay disturbed by it. That being said, I will still thank people for subs or follows if I notice the follows. I notice the subs really easily, but if I notice the follows, I might have a hard time noticing those. And I've also taken the feedback. I've put the chat in the bottom left, so if there's anything I'm answering in the chat, you can read it there, and I'll do my best to repeat any questions or comments that people have that I'm also commenting on out loud. So for those of you who kind of just do this more as an audio thing, I can give you a little bit more of an understanding of what's going on. In this video, we're going to be covering the second half of the Hinterlands before we unlock the Great Gubal Library dungeon. It's a level 59 main story dungeon. With that, we're also finishing up our Ether Currents, so I am just grabbing a few quests here. I'm also doing some extra quests. You guys know that I've talked about how, I don't encourage doing too many side quests because just it bogs down the gameplay experience, I feel. That's why we've been staying ahead of the leveling experience. So I'm only grabbing the ones that give me new healer gear. I'm also really quickly going to grab the ether nets in the area. There's one up here, and I think this might actually be the only one. I'm pretty sure this is the only ether net that's over here. It's been 3 weeks since the last video, not 3 minutes. Well, it's been 3 minutes since I recorded the last one, so hopefully for that we understand. There we go. Yep, that's all I needed. So now what I can do is I can use that to teleport out of the Hinterlands. I can't do the western half yet because I have to hand in this mission first. But after I do this mission, I'll be able to teleport to the east or west gate of the Hinterlands from the Ethernet right there. We also have a handful of quests that I definitely need to take a look at. Actually, the big thing is I don't know... Are these quests on this side of the Hinterlands? There's one of them that is, the pick of the bunch. I should probably go do that first. Well, that quest, yeah, because that quest is for a healing piece, is it not? Pretty sure it is. The pick of the bunch. It is for pants. Healing pants. I'm going to go get these healing pants. I saw an 82 armor increase. I was like, I need new pants. I need new pants bad. And I could just teleport back to Idleshire, because I did remember to get the Ethernet and the Etherite. So I should be fine. What's going on, Blue Fox? How you doing today, man? Welcome to a live recording of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV. Dude. This is what I mean, though. Like, if I don't want to go back out and do all the quests. I'll go back out and do a single quest. But I otherwise want to progress through the western half of the Hinterlands. We're getting very close to the end of the main story of 3.0. And I feel like I want to make that stride. I feel like we've made a lot of progress in the last 3 hours for the Healer Happy series. And I'm just excited to be moving ever closer to Denzo. Also, I just noticed there's 2 quests out here. Are these both part of the same quest? Or are these part of different quests? The Pick of the Bunch and Ebb and... Oh! I need to go out here to do one of the ether current quests anyway. So that works out. Okay, well that works. That's cool. What is over here? This quest is search for the ungracious Gubal. Well, I can see him from here, and it looks like he's having a bit of a party over there. Oh, these tarantula hawks. Go away. Go away, tarantula hawks. I'm going to say it's like, I'm right here now. You could just fight them. Okay, so I have a question from the chat that says, what cross-class skills would you recommend for ninjas? So just to be clear, ninjas cross-classes are Pugilist and Lancer. When it comes to Pugilist and Lancer, there's mostly mandatory skills, like things you absolutely have to take. Among them are Blood for Blood, Internal Release, I'd say Second Wind is mandatory, and Invigorate. Those 4 are absolute. I would not try to function on Ninja without those 4. The last one, it's up for debate, depending on the situation you're in. Mantra can be good. It's only 5% increased healing for the party, but it's better than not having 5% more healing for the party. And then, I mean, besides, what are your other options? You have, let's see, you have, what, faint? Like, no, don't do that. And then, what else is there? There's Keen Flurry. Keen Flurry can be good for, like, soloing Palace of the Dead. I would recommend taking Keen Flurry for that. Keen Flurry is useful on certain abilities that I've encountered in Raid. One situation where Keen Flurry was incredibly useful was in turn 13 for the Binding Coil. There was an attack that would hit you 3 times, and it was physical damage. So with Keen Flurry, you had a chance to parry. Very high chance to parry each one of those hits. So it could work as potential damage reduction. So those are generally the 2 skills that you debate on for the last slot. It's usually either Mantra or Keen Flurry. And that's really just going to depend on the scenario. And some people also don't want to take Pugilist to 42 in order to learn Mantra. So, again, up to you. Up to you on that last one. Also, thank you for the cheer, Loot. What are you up to today? I am doing a live recording of my YouTube series, Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV, where I'm taking a character that I'm playing strictly with controller through key aspects of the game and helping out new players as they watch the series. That is the ultimate goal of Healer Happy, is to help newer players understand concepts as we go throughout the game, understand how certain content works as we go throughout the game. And I normally don't do these recordings live, but I've been kind of behind on them, and I really wanted to take today and take the opportunity to do them live. So you guys can kind of see what it's like. We can take some of the feedback we received regarding the last time I did them live, and we can utilize it now to do a bunch of recordings all at once. Ugh, I wanted to squeeze by without aggroing that guy. It's alright. Oh, I don't have Clerk Stance on. Whee! Thank you for linking the Patreon, by the way, Tequila. I've been making sure to thank the patrons at the end of every recording. Appreciate the link right there in the chat. Oh, you know what I should have been doing this whole time too? The shirts. The shirts. I gotta put that announcement over on, well, now I have to deal with both of them. These things have a lot of health, dude. Dude? Now I might as well size. No, stop. So many bad guys. It's only 2 bad guys. It just takes forever to kill both of these bad guys. Shirts. Yes, we do have shirts available now, too. Honestly, by the time this gets uploaded, the shirts will probably... Actually, this will still get uploaded within the lifetime of the shirts, but I'll have made a separate video talking about the new shirts anyway at that point. Okay. Now that that's done... Get the last Illuminati pot and get the heck out of here. Deliver the pickaxe to Dry Docks. Okay, let me just make sure these are all back in Idleshire. Yes, they are. Okay, good, because I don't want to have to do something else out here and then I totally forget to do it. Alright, so now we can grab a few more pieces of gear. And an ether. This guy gives me a current. Alright, another etherite. Stop calling it. I don't know why I've been calling them etherite currents today. I can't stop myself. I can't stop myself. It just keeps happening. He doesn't have... The other quest doesn't have anything. Hey, P-Orth, what's going on, man? Welcome to the live recording of Healer Happy. We're doing live recordings today. What's going on, Curry? For the Let's Play series. It's been going pretty good so far today. Ah, yes. For those of you who have been playing since patch 3.4, if you've been doing A12 normal every week, this is the week you can pick up a weapon using your Scripture Tomestones and the 7 Alexandrian gears that you've picked up. This is indeed said week. Let me guess. It ended up in my inventory because I'm horrible with yes. Okay, got it. Got it. Man, look at all these great pants. I even did get new pants at some point. Look at that. Look at those pants. Yeah. I'm just gonna do that real quick. Picked up a lot of pants. A lot of them are the same pants over and over again. They're from Leave Quests. Good old pants. Everybody loves pants. There, now I can use recommended gear. Awesome, new pants. I'm the greatest. I think they said they were going to cut back on that, Tashin. Cutscene skipped. Is there a weapon here? Oh, new weapon. I will take that new weapon. Thank goodness, dude. It's been a long time since I got a new weapon. Or it feels like it's been a long time since I got a new weapon. Like a really long time. Alright, so we have more ether currents to deal with now. 145 yalms to the south. I think it's right up there on that ledge. We should be able to fly as soon as we clear Gubal. I imagine we'll have to clear Gubal before we fly. Can I get that from right here? Yo, can you calm down? Yes, I can. The next one, more 406 more yalms to the south. I love yalms. Vohayo. That guy's just chilling. I believe not, Vanitas. Pretty sure armory bonus does not work in that case. The question is, armory bonus works on the crafting classes too if you have any other class above its level. I believe the answer there is no. I do not believe the rested EXP works, but not the armory bonus. Armory bonus is something that's pretty exclusively for combat jobs. By pretty exclusive, I mean very exclusive. In fact, it's so very exclusive that it's exclusive. Some would say, at the very least. Hey, look, a B rank. These are not kites. These are colibris. I feel lied to. Hello, Lagarnix. Welcome to the recording. Hey, Happy. What should I do with my poetics? If all my classes are 60, I do not care about Anima Relic. If you really want to, you could spend them on the crafted materials, or you could spend it on buying armor to desynthesize. Either of those things would be an effective means of using your poetics. If you're going to do desynthesis, definitely spend it on helping to level your desynthesis. Otherwise, the crafted materials. Those would be your best bets. Definitely. Damn, this one's really far to the south. I think the last two are on the way to the Great Gubal Library, which is very soon. So soon, I might even be able to keep it in this video. This video is only like 11, 13 minutes long, somewhere between 11 and 13 minutes. You could also, yeah, that's another thing you could do, is you could use the poetics to buy items, to then vendor them to the Grand Company NPCs, to then buy more up-to-date crafted materials and sell those. That's the better means of putting it. Oh, that's right. So you may remember between the last part and this part, I said I was going to do clan Centurio hunts. It turns out that 2 of the clan mobs were not available to me yet. The Pirogos were one of them. So I'm going to kill them now. And I'm not a fan of getting bullied like this. Oh, that was just out of range, that water sprite. Thank goodness, because these guys have a lot of health. More health than I recall them. Well, that crit certainly made short work of them. Hey, Domino Dex, thank you for supporting the channel with the Twitch Prime sub. I'm in the middle of a YouTube recording right now, Domino. I will play the welcome sound for you after I'm done. That'll probably be in about 20-30 minutes. So hopefully you'll still be hanging out here, but I'll play the welcome sound between the recordings if that's okay. Get some sub hype in the chat though for that man right there. Oh, he's so close to dead. I got him. I only need to kill 2 Pirogos, so that works. Extra 50,000 XP in the pocket right there. Yes, Jared, we do have a partnership with Double Jump Coffee. We're going to have tea soon as well. If you live in the United States, the shipping's not that bad. If you live outside the United States, the shipping is significantly higher. So just keep that in mind. And I'm picking out a new flavor. Hopefully I'll have it picked out in the next day or 2. Oh, hold on. Let me give myself Stone Skin. It's going to ask me to fight a bunch of mobs here in a second. Let's do this. I think there's 3 more that spawn after these first 3, too. Oh, the one tiny little bit of HP left. Oh, no, I guess it was only 3 mobs. Okay, for some reason I thought there were 6 mobs. We are starting off with a green tea, Vanitas. That'll be the first hap tea that we have. I had a choice between a green tea and a black tea. I tried them both. I like the green tea a little bit better. And for those of you, when it sounds like I'm squeezing my nose, it's because I am. I have a bit of an itchy nose right now. I don't know why, I just do. I'm pretty sure this quest right here, called Forbidden Knowledge, is the quest that unlocks the Great Gubal Library. It asks us to complete it. Speak with Matoya. Well, first it's going to ask me to speak with Matoya. Yep, she just told me about the Gubal Library. Now she's going to ask me to go... Well, I need to speak with the Forbidden Broom first. We also got to do this quest right here for another Ether Current. Yes, it's going to be... The first one's going to be a green tea, Pyorth. I've already flavor tested them. I told Josh which one I want. And hopefully we'll have it working soon. Speak with Broomsy at the Great Gubal Library. I might just make this one video a little bit long and do the Great Gubal Library and combine it. Because we didn't really spend much time out here doing these quests. Hello, medicinal herbs. Bad guys are going to spawn when I talk to you. I'm skipping all the cutscenes, Domino, just so you know. These things have so much health. That is crazy that after my full combo, he still has that much health. This is the reason why I wanted higher item level stuff, is just because of this. Like, he could just outright kill me if my gear was, you know, under. Obviously, it would require me to not heal, which, of course, is not going to happen, but it's just insane to think how much of my health he takes off with Stone Skin. With Stone Skin, he did that much of my health. I'm just saying. That's crazy. Presence of mind. Get those dots up. Dude, Arrow 2 is like... now I'm actually really annoyed by the Arrow 2 spell. After getting Arrow 3 and just seeing how, like, it's AoE, it lasts longer. Yeah, it has a longer cast time also, but, like, it's so much better in every way. Arrow 2 just feels so... It's just that Arrow 2 is a lot of damage. Like, over its super short duration, it's a lot of damage. I hate having to recast it so frequently. Well, if you're a DPS, theoretically you'll also kill them faster. A size deals... Well, here's what a size does. A size deals damage, restores MP, and heals. And it's instant cast on a 9-second cooldown. So if you want to do a lot of AoE damage, you Cleric Stance a size, and it gives you some MP back, but it does 300 potency worth of damage. If you are not in Cleric Stance and you use a size, it'll do 300 potency worth of instant AoE healing. It'll still do the damage, but it'll do far less. It's basically a giant everything ability. That's the best way I could think to put it. It's a giant everything ability. It literally does everything. It heals, it gives you MP back, and it deals damage. And then it's just, do you want to deal more damage, or do you want to... deal more damage, or do you want to heal more? That's the choice. Cleric Stance, you'll deal more damage. Not Cleric Stance, you'll heal more. Yo, that's what those potions are for. You collect those potions in Palace of the Dead tunes, and you use them to go through mobs in here. That's what it's all about. Now, we got another Ether Current. How many of the Ether Currents do I have so far? I am missing 2 quest-related ones. One of them's one I'm doing right now, and 2 of them by foot. So, yeah, I almost have the ability to fly here. To be fair, in the old days, that wasn't an option. We didn't have Palace of the Dead to feed us potions back then, Chuns. Ugh. Not the fun days. No problem, Domino. Thank you for helping him out with that question, guys. The ruling quarter. I think I know where this Ethernet is. Or this, dude, this current. I don't know what is wrong with me today that I just can't get the word current into my head. I'm pretty sure it's up top, but just to be... No, it's down here. Is the other one that's up top still up top? Because there used to be one that was like up top and slightly out of the way. I'd imagine they wouldn't have needed to move that one. No, yeah, it's further to the east. All right, well, that seems like an unnecessary movement, but I guess it does make it so you don't need to go up the bridge and then like back out to the dead end. It's just directly to the east. As opposed to, I could have sworn that because it used to be over that way, like at the very end of the bridge that way. I feel like it used to be that way, but now it's not. Now it's just this way. This is the last ether current that I need. That's here. There it is. That seems like an unnecessary one to move, but you know, it's all right. This is going way faster than it did on my main. That's a big bridge, man. I'm just trying to lose aggro. Alright, we have all of the ether currents that the compass has us get. Oh no, look, the Ethernet's broken. And now we can unlock the Great Gubal Library. The thing is, the one ether current that was on the bridge before that they moved to under the bridge or next to the bridge wasn't exactly that far out of the way. Alright, so I'm going to include the Great Gubal Library in this video. So let's queue in. Same deal that it usually is with the YouTube side of things. If the queue takes a while, then I just I cut out the time between me pressing join, which I'm going to do right now after I clear it, and the time that it actually takes for it to pop. So hopefully it doesn't take too long. I'm just going to chill with the Twitch chat, and I'll see you on the YouTube side as soon as the queue pops itself. All right, so it took pretty much about 5 minutes flat for us to get to this queue, but this is the Great Gubal Library. I called it Gubal before. It's the Great Gubal Library. We know that because of the quest for the hard mode version of this dungeon that's called Let Me Google That For You. Yep, and that's why we call it the Google Library, because it's got books and information in Google. So this is the final pre-level 60 dungeon that you will do. This is the last dungeon that is not level 60. That being said, you can actually, and as you can see with my party members, you can be level 60 in this dungeon and get access to your level 60 abilities. It's not going to Orem Veil you and really annoy the heck out of you. Thank you, Hodors, for the Twitch Prime sub, by the way. Get some sub hype in the chat for that, man. I will play the sound for you after we are done with this YouTube recording. So because of that, this dungeon can either be incredibly easy to heal, or it can be a little annoying. If you're level 60, the extra skills, the extra armor, it is item level synced at 150, but that being said, it is still miles above survivability wise. Like, you can see how much more survivable he is, even in just that one regen that's ticking on him. This first pull right here is not that bad. But there are some pulls later on where tanks can go a little bit ham, and without my level 60 ability, I feel a little bit helpless. Tetragrammaton being that instant heal that's just so useful. I'm also going to save my Assize for the next part. We kill those two enemies, runs through the door. Now, most people will take this dungeon, treat it as if it's a pre-60 dungeon, and not super speedrun it. For example, when you pull this Meganura, it spawns two more sentient inkhorns. Most people, and I'm not saying all, but most will just do this, and then that'll be it for them. You know, some will, on the other hand, go completely crazy and try to do everything. I am cleric locked again. Come on now. He's fine. But you can see, like, I don't heal him for like crazy amounts because I'm in level 50 here. I'm like average item level like 129 or something like that. So, I mean, yeah, he does get hit hard on these three enemies, and unfortunately, I'm not super confident in full-time DPSing. But what I can say is that this definitely feels better as a dungeon to do as a level 59 with the level 60 tank than it would if it was level 59 tank. Just because a little bit of extra armor value and whatnot. I'll just leave him with that stone skin, let him tick back up naturally. I am going to hit level 60 in this dungeon, though, and that is exciting, because that's just been a long time coming in general for the Healer Happy series. And I'm glad that it's finally happening. It's happening! This pull I'm a little bit more prepared for. This pull I had a little bit more to work with. I do have a Divine Seal now, which I'll probably just save for the next pull. And because he is a warrior, unlike when I did the Vault and we had the Dark Knight tank, I don't feel so bad about MP destroying my MP pool with Holy Spam. Yes, it is still destroying my MP pool. That much is still happening. But I don't feel as bad about it. Give him his stone skin, and now I just chill. I just chill, get some MP back, we'll be good. I've even got a free cure proc. My size will be up again soon. I can use that. I could just arrow 3 a size on the next pull, keep arrow 3 up, and I'll be fine. Also, because he has stone skin, I can kind of hang out for a little bit. I don't need to cast on him immediately. When I do, I got Divine Seal. He's good to go. And that's another easy way. Actually, I have the MP to do 2 holies, probably. Would be a safe amount. I'm going to have Shroud of Saints up again soon. But I don't want to go too ham. It's more about the stun than it is anything else. I'm so proud. Are you? Are you really, Tashian? Alright, I have another question coming in from the chat. So I have PSA, Mr. Happy. If you are playing as a DPS or a healer in a dungeon and pull aggro from the tank, should you A, run around and attempt to kite the enemy, or B, bring the mob attacking you to the tank for easier removal, or C, pray to the Moogle gods that the king comes and saves you? So it depends on the fight. I can think of a handful of fights where it's better to just run in a circle and let everybody kill the boss, for example, but that's very different. Like, a good example is Cutter's Cry. Instead of all the ads running them to the tank, if the healer just pops, they just, pop a regen on the tank and then just run the mobs around the room, it's actually more efficient to do it that way and then just ignore the ads. Another example of that is the Dusk Vigil second boss, where you can do that, and it ends up being more efficient to do that than as opposed to stopping and trying to kill the ads. But in the majority of situations, you'll want to hang out near your tank. The least useful thing you can do whenever you pull aggro from a tank is to run away from that tank and prevent them from pulling aggro back onto themselves. You should definitely hang. Now, sometimes that's not viable. Sometimes if you hang near the tank and you're not running in a circle and you're not just kind of hoping that they provoke and get it off you, there's a good chance that the enemy is just happens to be strong enough to kill you in those like 5 seconds that you run into that issue. But that's not always what's going to happen. All right, so the first few pulls, very simple as you saw. This is the first boss. This is the Demon Tome. Now, it's somewhat similar in design to Amdapor Keep's Demon Wall. I mean, in case you couldn't tell, he pretty much is the Demon Wall, but he's in a book instead. Even down to this part of the fight design where he does the inner part hits you and then the outer part hits you. The big thing is, though, instead of pushing you against the wall, you have to hide behind the boss at certain points. You'll understand what I mean when he uses a skill that's going to knock us back towards the wall itself. There's also, just like with the Demon Wall, assuming people avoid mechanics in this fight, there is very little healing that needs to be done. So this repel attack that he does, it knocks us towards the wall. The thing you need to follow up with, though, is running immediately behind the boss like this. Now, that's going to be made slightly more difficult. If you don't make it in time, he will pretty much instantly kill you when he opens the book right there and then swings around. He also knocks you away when he's swinging around. I like to move just out of melee range for that reason. All right, I am going to size. Wow, I actually got out of the way in time. So Words of Winter, this is the other thing he's going to do. So Words of Winter, you should recognize this mechanic at this point. It basically means that if you try to move, you're going to slide around the arena. So don't move during this first one, but what he's going to do is now we're going to have to hide behind him while Words of Winter is on. That's going to be the thing that, that changes very soon. So he's going to repel us now. And then he's going to Words of Winter. And then he's going to ask us to move behind him. So what I do is I just position myself on the side right here. I cast a few abilities. And then when he's casting Disclosure, I just quick one button press. I'm on the other side. I can continue DPSing without needing to worry about moving any further. And that's the whole fight. You just repeat. Now we just repeat that over and over again. And everything's honky-dory. He's not a very difficult boss. I mean, it's dungeon boss. I don't think you guys expected him to be super difficult, but, you know, just fun, just fair to just point that out, that little strategic bit right there. Also, we did have a 3-month resub while I was in the middle of that. Thank you again, Daler, for the 3-month resub. I'm going to be playing the sub sounds after we're done with this live Let's Play recording. Now, if you get hit by these things on the side, it does give you a heavy effect. It does give you a slow effect, which just generally just slows down the fight as a whole. But the fight's over. I just start cleansing the heavies right away. I don't worry about the movement slows, especially if I'm missing MP. But it is something that you definitely want to consider. Still no healer loot, by the way. Again, still no healer loot. So these enemies, you may remember them, these Spandules. These are the ones that use that misery effect. That's the one that makes it so that you can type /comfort on a target and you can remove it. It's that one right there. So /comfort. And I remove it. So these are the kind of enemies that you kind of want macros for an emote. Another thing, these page 64 enemies. So what they do is you see that tether that's on him. That means he is the only target that that guy will attack. But it's a line AoE that he actually uses. All right, so there's 2 targets with misery. I'm only going to worry about the tank right here, removing his, just because, well, he's the tank, so probably more important. Whichever target page 64 ends up picking as his target for that. Oh, God, that was really weird. I also pulled a lot of aggro somehow, and now I'm dead. Okay. I got, oh, okay, so Elemental killed me. Didn't even see. Sorry. That's my bad. I still could have handled that, but I was having trouble dropping my AoE, I guess, against the wall. So that ate a lot of my cast time there. I had the Elemental on me the entire time also hitting me, and I didn't realize it. So I didn't actually see. I was like, oh, I don't have any enemies on me anymore. So I didn't heal myself because I'm like, oh, well, he got the enemies off me, so I should be fine. But all the same, I could have healed through that just fine. There's no excuse, really. The big thing of just ate a lot of my time there is I was like, I guess I was too close to the wall, so I was trying to drop the AoE on the ground, and it wasn't going, and that's no good. All right, there we go. That's the wrong way, isn't it? Is that the right way or the... Okay, it's the right way. I can never tell which way is the right way. It's east. What happens if you home gang the laser? I don't... That doesn't really do anything. Well, not a macro. I mean, just put it on my hotbar. I don't usually keep it on my hotbar. The book is gone. That much is positive. They killed the book. which means that annoyance is out of the way. Yeah, I guess I was just too close to the wall. That could be a minor annoyance for controller in here. It's just trying to drop that right there. I'm actually going to do the holy first, and then I'm going to do the arrow. And then I'll follow up with another holy. I also could have just bennied him so I didn't have to heal as much. There were plenty of solutions to that that didn't end in us dying. I'll just put it that way. Plenty of solutions. Number one thing to do. Sometimes, yes, it is definitely somebody else's problem that got you killed. That is absolutely true. I'm just going to Benny him right there. I could tell that, like, with how long I had been in Cleric, that was probably going to cause a problem. Because I saw his health get bursted down. I should really take comfort out, but I'm a hotbar. But, yeah, sometimes you can look to somebody else and maybe blame them, but you should always kind of look at what you could have done to save the situation before you look at what somebody else did wrong to screw up what your ideal situation was. Yes, my ideal situation there was I heal him, and then I eventually get to do Holy, and then he gets the damage mitigation from that, and I don't have to worry as much about the healing. I also, in an ideal world, my AoE doesn't go against the wall, and I have a hard time dropping it. But what happened was I just didn't respond to it correctly. I didn't respond to the cards I was dealt. I was worried. I was focused too much on fixing the problem I was having and not actually making sure that I beat the fight. Like, why isn't this thing working? Why is it just going against the wall? Oh, wait, I didn't heal the tank. And then I pulled aggro and died. Because if you constantly blame other people for where you could have improved a situation, you run into a scenario where you don't improve. And that's something you definitely don't want to run into as player, especially because we're approaching level 60. At this point, if you actually want to be participating in endgame content, you have to be able to do that. You have to take a step back and realize, you know what? I will make mistakes. Not everything I do will be perfect. But you know what? As long as I can identify that, it should be fine. Now, the other thing about these books, I was about to say it, but then I was kind of caught up in the issues we were having on that other pull where we died. These books, if you have a level 60 in your party, they sometimes cast an ability, level 5 death in an AoE. And if they do that and it hits someone, it's called death for a reason. That's the best way I could think to describe it. So don't get hit by it. Or you're, well, bye. They can't cast it when you're level 59, by the way, because level 59 isn't divisible by 5. I mean, it is, but it won't come out as an integer. It'll come out as a decimal, so. Not really, Curry. It's not really difficult for me to ever switch between jobs. Normally, there's a few, like, button mispresses, and that's about it. I can always perform at least to a moderate level on any role or any job. But sometimes I forget where buttons are if I haven't played it in a while. That can cause problems. Oh, yeah, well, you'd also, yeah, by the way, if he does cast level 5 death and you are level 59 and it's going to hit you, you don't need to dodge it. You only need to dodge it if you're level 60. Again, math. And now we just don't stand next to that person and we don't take damage. And I believe we're at the second boss after we kill this mob. So I am going to have a swift cast Stone Skin 2 ready for the next boss. So the next boss is Biblos, and pretty simple boss overall. I'll explain the boss as it goes, but for the majority of the fight, there's nothing really special to talk about here. When there is something special to talk about, we'll talk about it. It's presence of mind and DPS this fool. So he just starts. He has a tank buster. He has a tank buster that's a cleave. He has this charge attack, which will knock people back. If you take 0 damage, by the way, won't actually knock you back. He did not take 0 damage, though. Easier to do as like a Nocturnal Astro or a Scholar or something. At very soon, I just bendied myself, by the way, didn't I? No, never mind. I did not. I thought I did. So at 70%, he's going to jump onto the book in the center of the room. And at this point, you can't damage him. He's going to flip 2 books into the area, and it's going to summon 2 adds, 2 page 64s. And at this point, he's also going to start spamming vulnerability up. And your goal here is to kill these page 64s, dodge the AoEs that they shoot. And then when you kill it, the closest target, normally one of the DPS, is going to get that orb that follows them. And you just need to kite that orb into him. When you do that, the other page 64 will disappear, by the way. So as you can see, the other ad just disappears right away, and then he runs right back to the tank. No biggie. Now, in this part, he's going to start summoning these little gaseous spaces. Now, right here, they don't matter. You can just ignore them pretty much. Just don't touch them. However, that orb that was that light orb that was following the person that we used to knock him out of the middle, if it makes contact with one of those gaseous bombs, which he uses whenever he uses the ability Gale Cut, he'll reposition them. And he'll normally reposition them between orbs and the center of the room. Then they'll dissipate, and you'll have to use another orb. So what I normally recommend doing here is you look at which one your group is going to kill, right? So we're going to kill this one. He's going to use, I think he's going to use Gale Cut again right here. Yeah, he's using Gale Cut again. And either the tank or DPS, if there's one in the way, then you just hit yourself up against it. Just basically take some damage and just take care of it that way. We didn't actually have that happen right there. It turned out that when he used Gale Cut again, it was actually very out of the way, which is not an experience I've had too frequently with this boss. So that was a nice surprise. It also gives him damage over time. You see that the boss has like a wind bite looking damage over time effect, so it also does some damage to him. And that's the whole boss fight. He'll do that once at 70%, once at 30%, and then you're good. And now we're on to the stretch of the final part of the dungeon. I should level off of the next EXP pack that we pull. And I won a hat. Finally, after all this time, I won a hat. Couldn't be happier. I tried. Didn't work. Item level 130. When we hit level 60, we get to talk about item levels for item level requirements for the new dungeons. This is one of those situations where I've seen people pull, like, do massive, and looks like he's doing that. I'm a little nervous about this big pull. So this enemy right here, the Skatine, it has a silence on it. And if that when that silence hits me, I don't think I need to tell you what happens. I can't cast spells. And so and it also can't be stunned or silenced. So it's pretty obnoxious. I'm pretty much just going to, okay, so it's casting silence on me now. And now I'm silenced. All I've got is that benediction. That is my only recommendation, is to save benediction for that as a white mage. Or lustrate in the case of being a scholar. You need an off global cooldown ability pretty much. Something that's not a spell that you could just spam immediately. Also, this guy is taking tons of damage. It also doesn't help that I have AoEs to dodge. He's probably going to need to home gang at some point, because we are not killing these things fast enough. And I just keep getting targeted AoE after AoE. This is really tough if you don't have a level 60 healer, in case you couldn't tell. I would not recommend doing this big pull without a level 60 healer, because I can barely keep up with the damage that he's taking, and I'm spamming Cure 2. I almost have Shroud of Saints again, though. And now I think we're stable enough for it to be fine. Between the silence and dodging the AoEs, that can, for a less experienced healer, don't feel bad if you die on that, if you're kind of just, you're still new and you're still leveling up the first time. If your tank does that pull, kind of see what I did there and kind of try to draw a conclusion as to how you'll go about it. But it's not easy for a newer healer. Definitely not. I would love to see those things, but man, are they never going to allow it. They will AoE the heck out of those things. I am now level 60 also, by the way. So at level 60, your first goal, by the way, becomes to get gear. I will talk about this more in detail in like a what to do as a fresh 60 video. But my first thing now is to try and increase my item level to at least 150. The big thing with that is that is what I need to get into the first dungeons. I'm sorry, 145. 145. That is the item level I need. I'm sorry, one of the recommendations I was going to make involves item level 150 gear. It's not a recommendation I like making, though. So we'll talk about it more when I get to Azys Law. But basically, there's a vendor that sells really crappy item level 150 gear. You can use that to get above the minimum item level. I don't recommend doing that because the gear is complete trash and it will not be a fun experience for you, trust me. I recommend doing the Clan Centurio seals like we've been talking about up to this point to try and get yourself above item level 150. In the next video, that's what we'll show, is using the Clan Centurio seals. That's why I'm glad I brought it up like 6 videos ago. Because it really is the best means of going about. It's EXP for when you level up, and it's also just better gear. It's item level 200 stuff, like it's good. Also, if you were doing Palace of the Dead, you should have an I-235 weapon when you hit level 60 right away also. Something that's definitely worth considering doing. What's going on, Tech? How you doing, man? We're doing a live recording of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV right now. How are you doing? I had another question in the chat here. Beginner question, are free companies guilds? Yes, free companies are the equivalents of guilds. Well, you can do that, Cyber, but that gear is just so bad. It's just so bad, man. I have a hard time even just filling in gaps. The thing is, yes, filling in a gap, technically you could do that. But the thing is, if you do it right, there's no gap to fill. If you just are, if you're doing your Clan Centurio seals, then you shouldn't need to do that. Because odds are that item level 150 NQ gear that you bought is worse than the HQ stuff that you've been picking up from the quests themselves. That would be Marauder, Kruxy. I just started Final Fantasy XIV and made it the class with an axe. I don't know the name because I don't know the name in English, but it's a good beginner class. Feel really low on damage. It's a tank. Just so you know, the class that you started on, Kruxy, it is a tank. So your damage being low is understandable because that's not what your role is. Your role is a tank. Yeah, if you have the money, you can buy... the thing is, with the way you make money going from 1 to 60, unless you made a lot of money selling materia in Palace of the Dead prior to hitting 60, odds are you don't have that much spare gil on the side. But if you do, you could buy an I-250 crafted piece. It would definitely be a huge boost to your item level, just that that's a lot of gil to spend when you're a new 60. I have another question from Red Dead. Once you hit 60, aren't you able to start accumulating tomestones? You can start accumulating them before 60, if you're doing the hunt. If you're doing the hunt. You need to be 60 to get the hunt actually, well, you can only get poetics that way. I guess I shouldn't say that. Actually, you can only get... Well, no, because I got poetics that way in the early parts, but not the level 60 ones. Can't get the level 60 ones unless I am 60, I think. Yeah, maybe you get lucky on Wondrous Tales. I'm trying to remember what the rules are on tomestones and the hunts. The actual hunts, not the clan hunts. I mean, like, the open world, like, A rank, S rank hunts. So for this boss right here, one thing he does is he puts those void sparks on people. And all those void sparks do is they just pulse AoEs if you go near them. So what you do is you drop them in between these circles on the outside. He's going to do this thing with the circles 3 times at about 80%, 50%, and 20%. The first time he does it at 80%, you're going to notice one of the lights, usually the middle one, lights up in those circles, and you just need to have somebody step on them real quick. That's all you need to do there. On the second set, you're going to have only 4 of these circles light up, but you need 2 people to stand on them. And then at the third time, you'll need 3 people to stand on them, but only 2 of them are going to pop up. If you don't successfully stop those orbs, like you make sure there's chains around them, you don't successfully trigger the condition to avoid that mechanic, then each one that is not done properly will spawn an ad. So you're going to see right here, we're going to have ones that have 2 on them. Void Call. All right, so they're going to go do that one. I'm going to go with this guy, and we're going to do this one. Most of the time, people don't coordinate them, and they just deal with the ads as best they can. Sometimes people get ads, sometimes people don't. We didn't get any ads here. It's mostly when you get to the set of 3 that people screw up. He also starts doing AoEs. He's going to do an outside AoE first. Now he's going to do a point-blank AoE right there. It's just big enough so that you do have to dodge at least one of them. So what I like to do as the healer is I like to kind of hang around the tank. And what I do encourage the most is that melee DPS hang around the tank and that the healer hangs around the tank. And that wherever the tank runs to, both of those people run to as well. That is my recommendation. That's not going to be how it goes like 90% of the time. I'm just saying, like that's just not how it ends up happening. That's perfect world scenario. That guy being heavied, that I have to stop. That I have to cure right away. Because if he's heavied, it makes getting to these orbs, which we're going to have to do in like 2 seconds. Pretty much right after this AoE hits, we're going to have to go do that. And here we go. We're all in one space. Both of them are north, so this one's nice and easy. I'm going to go, like I said, go directly with the tank. This is like best case scenario. If you're the 4th person in that set, by the way, you can go stand on the other one like that guy just did. And it goes perfectly well. But that can happen. It's not always going to be those 2 north ones, just to be clear. Most of the time, they're on like opposite sides of the room, and everybody tries to make like a panic decision, and it just goes awfully. That's what my experience with that mechanic is about 90% of the time. Hey, Tech, let's see the question right here. Hey, Mr. Happy, do I need to be partnered with Twitch to form a community with a few of my friends? Nope. Community building is something you do that you don't need to be partnered to do. I mean, it's the same as building a community on any website. You can just make a forum and just say, like, hey, this forum is for cool people. And then, bam, you get to go. Hey, I got a weapon. You don't have to be a partner on Twitch to make a community. No, you usually have to build a community to get partnered on Twitch. It's the other way around. The Thenarian Cane. Well, at least I got a weapon, right? I gotta throw some of this stuff out, dude. Why do I have some of these things, man? I mean, I know why I have some of these things, but why do I have some of these things? Why do I still have a level 50 White Mage weapon? Why do I still have a Yagrush? Why? I'm never going to use it again. Am I going to hand it in for seals? I could. I'm not going to. I got 2 commendations. Well, that's a stream team, Tech. That's different from building a community. Yeah, for a stream team, you need to be partnered. To just build a community, you don't need to be partnered. You just build the community the old-fashioned way. All right, we're going to go deliver the tome to Matoya, and that should be a wrap for this video. That should be a wrap for this video. Yeah, building a stream team and building a community are not the same thing. Most people build communities without ever touching a stream team. All right, that went really well. Now that I'm level 60, though, few things. I don't know if I need Heaven's Ward done to get the level 60 hunt quests. I should go check that immediately, though. But first, I'm going to go hand this quest, and we're going to wrap this video up. I could probably do one more Healer Happy recording live today, and that'll probably be it. And then I'm going to render all of them. And then I'm going to spend the day rendering all of them. Feels good to be 60 on Healer Happy. Now it's time to be really bad as a level 60 on Healer Happy. Alright, this is another question. Do you need good internet to be able to stream? Yes. You need a very high upload speed, and you need to... You better hope you have no data caps. If you have a data cap, you're going to destroy that data cap real fast. I recommend a minimum of 10 megabits per second upload speed. I've done it with 5. It's doable. The quality of your stream will suffer, but it's doable. I just recommend a minimum of 10 megabits per second upload speed. All right, and now I just need one more quest and I can fly in the Hinterlands. I wonder if it's a main story quest or if it's a side quest. Well, it's not that quest. Please just give me the quest. That's all I want. That's all I need to know. All right, well, I think that's going to be where we wrap up this video. So thank you again for watching another live Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV recording. This is going to be a little bit longer than the previous videos, but I don't mind that. We got Great Gubal done. We're almost through the entire main story quest. Thank the Lord. And then we can start doing all the level 60 stuff soon enough. Thank you again, those of you watching live, those of you watching on YouTube. Thank you, a special thank you to those supporting over on Patreon. If you guys haven't checked it out, over in the Twitch chat, you can type !Patreon. Basically, for people who support on Patreon, you are helping basically bring more YouTube content by making sure that I don't have to be worried about things such as viewership count. You know, I could just make content, make new types of content. I can bring back old types of content, and I could just do that, and I can feel secure and safe about it, and everybody can get what they want. It helps support that initiative, as I spend 7-8 hours a day on Twitch, and that's as much hours as you spend on a normal job, and then I'll usually spend another 7 or 8 on YouTube, and I just want to make sure that I'm doing the right things with that time, so Patreon really helps out with that. Also, for those of you watching live on Twitch, YouTube, I don't know if you guys will see this video before this happens, but up until November 29th, we have shirts available for sale. They're a Christmas-themed shirt with our emote, Hap Dwayne. It's a rock, and wants you to have a rockin' Christmas. Type !Mark t-shirt in the chat over on Twitch to see what that's about. And, yeah, if you want one, you got till November 29th to buy one. But anyway, thank you again for watching. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and I will see you all in the next Final Fantasy XIV Let's Play series. Until then, take care.